Now, our next few topics are all DC related, and I'm all about it. So the Flash movie is set to start filming within the next few months. And finally, we actually have some casting in this Flash movie of Flash-related characters, and not, here's another Batman, or, here's some other DC characters that might be showing up. This time now we actually have Flash-related characters in his love interest of Iris West and his mom. So they are bringing back Kiersey Clemons, who was in the Snyder Cut version of Justice League. But we haven't seen that yet. So I'm curious to see. I don't know. I haven't seen Snyder Cut. I'll watch it Thursday. I'm not working that day, so I'm planning on watching it all in one sitting. But I do think it's interesting that they are bringing back someone from the Snyder Cut. Like, they didn't have to do that because the theatrical version, we never saw what Iris West was like. I think it's either one, it's a testament to Kiersey Clemons' acting ability. I'm not sure I've seen her in anything, but I think it might either be a testament to her acting ability that they're like, no, we still want to keep you. You had promise. So maybe she is really great in the little bits that we know she's in for Zack Snyder's Justice League. Or something that I've thought for a while is this Flash movie will wipe away the Snyderverse, but it will still happen. Like, think of it like DC Comics, that the New 52 was an era that happened, and then Rebirth happened, and it didn't mean that New 52 didn't happen anymore. It didn't decanonize it. It's just that universe doesn't exist anymore. So I think that might be a play here, further tying in the Snyderverse leading into the events of Flash. Like Ben Affleck's Batman, obviously, is the Batman and Flash knows. So maybe. I still see her sticking around. Now, we also have the casting of his mom with the actress, forgot her name, Maribel Verdú, who I'm not entirely sure who that is. Hispanic actress, so they're changing up nationalities, which is totally fine. I think it's about time we got some casting of Barry Allen's mother. If the whole point of the movie is going back in time to save your mom's life, then let's, cast the mom of all people.
Nah.
But because it's a DC movie, if you're adding people to your cast, you have to subtract some others. And Henry Allen, his dad, will not be played by the same guy that was in both the Joss Whedon version of Justice League and Zack Snyder's Justice League with Billy Crudup. However, it has nothing to do with like creative differences. It's genuinely scheduling conflicts because
Fair enough.
this Flash movie has been delayed so many times that I'm not at all surprised by this. Billy Crudup is a pretty busy actor, so I'm sure he just had other obligations somewhere else. So I'm curious, Josh, and I'll have you start it with your thoughts on this. Do you think they will recast Henry Allen or just not have him in it?
I think it's possible they won't have him in it. Just because if the story is he's going back in time to save his mom, then it negates necessarily the reason for his dad to go to jail for quote unquote killing his mom. You know what I mean? I guess he could still be around, but you could write him out somehow. It wouldn't be that hard, really.
He's not actually in the Flashpoint animated movie.
Exactly. It's possible they just don't necessarily need him. And in some ways, in a movie that on paper looks like it's already really, really cluttered, might not be a bad idea to start cutting some people.
Yeah. What do you think about bringing back Kiersey Clemons as Iris West and bringing in his mom for this?
Yeah, it's about time. Sure. You need an Iris in a Flash story. You kind of need a mom in a Flashpoint story.
Well,
so about time.
Flash's mom is like Bambi. She's basically there to die.
Yeah.
She's the Uncle Ben of timelines and continuities can change, but one thing remains the same. They always have to be dead at some point.
Yes.
We haven't talked about it in a while. What are your hopes or expectations for this Flash movie?
That it comes out?
Right now, yeah, probably.
I think you and I both share the same thought that this is like their way of being like, all right, cool, we're done with the Snyderverse. We can move on from here, and I'm okay with that. It gives the Snyder fans their like, hey, like we still have our universe. That's fine, and it's not like we were going to try to reboot everything either. It was just like, no, it's just a new universe. It's an easier way of being like, we're moving on to another phase like Marvel, but like not like Marvel because we can completely restart and it'd be fun. I don't know. My expectations are that maybe Ezra won't be as annoying this time.
Okay, I had thought about this, and I almost
Yeah.
texted you this. I wouldn't be surprised at all if our perception of the Flash changes after watching Zack Snyder's Justice League.
That's also fair.
Because Ezra does feel very Joss written in Justice League. And also, you can tell the scenes that are Joss by certain actors, like Henry Cavill's wonky face or Ben Affleck's fuller face. We'll go with that. And there are quite a few scenes with the Flash where you're like, oh, I think this is a reshoot. So I would not be surprised at all if we come back next week after seeing Zack Snyder's Justice League. And I don't know if we'll love the Flash, but at least we probably will like him more, or it'll probably be a little bit closer. Doesn't matter which version it is, Snyder's or Whedon's. I still hate that suit, and I think it's one of the worst comic book suits I've ever seen. I hate that Flash suit with every fiber of my being.
Yeah, it's not a great suit. It's not a good suit. It's still better than the Flash show suit, though. Anyway,
all of those Flash suits are bad, but I get that it's a TV budget. Which, quick side tangent about TV, I actually watched the pilot episode of Superman and Lois, and I still have some issue with it. I'm not a huge fan of them having two teenage sons when they look like they're in their mid-30s, but also I've never been a big fan of Superman with kids. Like, I've grown to like Jonathan when he's young, thanks to Peter Tomasi's run on Superman, but I'm still not the biggest fan. However, the show is a lot better than it has any right to be. Like, it's still going to have your CW drama, but it's not like season 5 or 6 of The Flash. We are Team Flash. Like, it feels much more normal. And also, that's Superman. Like, he could bulk up a little bit for sure because he's still pretty thin, but the way he acts and interacts with people, I'm like, that's Superman. And the budget is significantly higher than other CW shows, which helps quite a bit. So I still have quite a few episodes to watch, but I'm like, okay, at least I have a Superman to watch. That's Clark.
Yeah, it's just circle, but like, I think the one thing I'm waiting to hear that we really haven't heard at
Reverse
all.
Flash?
Yeah.
I'm beginning to think he's not in it.
News.
I'm beginning to think he's not in it.
Okay, but then, so the question then becomes, how does Barry learn that he can reverse time? How does he learn this? Because in
Snyder
the original...
cut.
Okay, no.
I think Flash uses the Speed Force in the Snyder cut. And maybe he only goes back like a minute or two.
But even then...
Also, just weird side tangent with how Zack Snyder does Flash. And it's bugged me forever. And it's such a weird complaint, but at the same time it's not, because it's kind of important to the character. Why are his speed trails blue and white? Why is it not orange and yellow? Because blue and white is the fastest light trails. That's the fastest way you can go. So, like, he's an amateur Flash, like, he's still learning. Then why is his speed trails not orange and yellow? Like, that's just kind of... He's got the red suit and the yellow trails. I still don't understand the blue, but it's a weird nitpick, but at the same time... there's a reason why it should be that color, if that makes sense.
I almost want to say that the red and yellow speed trails are just because that it's his suit. But yeah, I think you can make that argument, but I don't know enough about Flash lore to really like peg that home.